Hey folks, in this lesson, we are taking a look at the various Rust concepts. Some of the concepts that we have seen in the previous videos are borrowing references, how do they work, what are mutable references, does Rust allow dangling references, or how does it prevent it? Now, in this lesson, we are going to be looking at one specific concept that is slices. Let's take a look at what are slices. The slice type in Rust actually refers to splitting your arrays or accessing a sequence of elements in a collection. So, splitting your array in the sense like you want to access first part of your array, second part of your array. There's just one example if you want to access a part of the string. So ideally, if you want to access a sequence of elements in a collection rather than the whole collection itself. So, and one of the most important thing to note here is that a slice in itself is a kind of reference. So it does not have ownership, right? Now, um, in the lesson, I've already shared a small string slice example with you. That is this one. Let's quickly go through this and then we'll do a hands-on example as well. So, string slice is basically a reference to a part of a string, right? So, here we are creating a string S called hello world, and the hello is actually the slice that can be denoted, that is from 0 to 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then the world actually starts from 6 to 11. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. W starts at 6 and it ends at D. So how do you refer to slices? You refer to slices in this way. They are in the form starting index dot dot ending index. So you can see that starting index here is 0, ending index is 5. Starting index is 6 forward and ending is 11. Similarly, you can sort of use arrays. You can get slices from arrays. You can also have it this way. That is, if you want to start at index 0, you can drop the first number, right? And if you want to go until the last byte of this element, you can drop the last number, right? And then when you say dot dot, it is basically the entire string in itself, right? Now you can read more about string slices here. Let's quickly go and do a hands-on, take a look at the hands-on example. In your piece of code that you would have got, you will find a file called slice.rs where you have a slice example, and then there is another sort of borrowing example as well. Let's take a quick look. Here we are creating an array of type I32, 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here is another array that we are creating, which is of type I32, which has 500 elements. All elements have been initialized to 0, right? This is one of the syntaxes to do that. Then we are just printing the first element, the second element, the number of elements using dot len. And you can also see that arrays are stack allocated. So you can see it occupies how many bytes. Why is it stack and not heap? Because arrays in Rust are static, right? You can't have dynamic arrays. You can also borrow the whole array as a slice like this. So you can say analyze slice and then send the reference to this, right? And then you get the, you know, first element and the length, etc. Now, let's see how you can borrow a section of the array as a slice. That is how you can create a slice out of this array ys, right? Now, here they say borrow a section because slice is a reference, right? It's not actually the array itself. So here, the starting index is number 1 and ending index is number 4. And when we call the analyze slice, this should, print the, oh, sorry. So this is not all zeros. This is 0 to 500. My mistake. So here we are allocating 0 to 499 for 500 of these elements, right? And then it should print 1 to 4. This is the slice that we are taking. And another example that you can see is that we can also create an empty slice, like this is an empty array. And when we refer to this array, this is a reference to that. This is an empty slice, right? So let's sort of um, run this and see the output. So if we want to see the output of this, we can see that. Let's go to the code and keep the code. Sorry. Okay. So we can see that the first element of the array, second element of the array, number of elements. So all of this is fine. First is 1, second element is 2, number of elements in the array are 5. Array occupies 20 bytes because the it has 5 and each are integers, so 5 into 4. And then you can see that we can borrow the whole array as a slice. So when this analyze slice is being called, you can borrow the entire array. So the first element of the slice would be 1 and the size of the slice should be 5. So you can see that it has 5 elements. Now the next thing that we are doing is that you're borrowing a section of the array as a slice. So here the starting index is 1 and the ending index is 4. So you will have 1, 2, 3, right? So it is from here to n minus 1. So you will have 3 elements that you have taken from this particular array ys. So ys is completely filled with zeros. So your 0th element, first element, second element, all 500 elements are actually 0. So your 0th elements, first element of that should be slice of 0. That is the first index value 0. And the length of the slice should be 3. So that is what we can see that has been printed, right? Now, of course, we also saw a small example of string slices, wherein you can have strings as well as slices. I mean, you can take the some like substring like that from slices. Now, empty slices as well. You can have empty slices, and you can see that the asset are all the same, right? So this is all about slices. In the next video, we will be taking a look at the concept of structs in Rust. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.